Hopefully that isn't heard in the room, because that is loud and unfortunate. Yeah, okay. I believe that is... Well, this has been a long time coming. Hello, this is Dry Oasis. I'm your host. And always, these are my two co-hosts, Kirby and Snorlax. Say hello, Kirby and Snorlax. Hi-ho! And as always, I hope that you've had a great day. And if not, I hope the rest of your day is better or tomorrow is better for you. And yeah. So sorry for the long wait. It's just that I have other stuff that I've been doing, like rehearsing for this musical coming up. I think you would know it's like is Mary Poppins the musical. It's it's a little bit different based on both the book and by the musical. Not the musical, but the movie. There we are. Every time I have to with Streamlabs. Alright. No, I've already begun this stream well late. Might as well show you actual proof. I'm not sure if I will get in trouble by showing this on Twitch, but here we are. An actual libretto. I am not going to show the inside, of course, as a breach of trust or something like that, but I guess I can show the cover. And I will be part of the ensemble, and yeah, I was working my butt off this last week, so yeah, that's why I haven't been able to do anything on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I deeply apologize, but that is that for now. And I guess that is all for now. I can work with. Hold on a moment. Never leave this game without this. All right. I know what time it is right now. Objection time. Say it with me. Objection. All right. And what a beautiful day. It's definitely gotten a little bit nicer outside for me as well. It's definitely been cooler. Autosave, autosave, autosave. We're flying up in the sky. Again, this thing has... let's continue on. Hopefully I can get through all of this within the next hour and 30 or so. They're on a ship. They're on a ship. Everybody look at them because they're on a ship. March 12th, 2:52 p.m. Flight G30, lower deck, cargo holds. Wow! So this is the cargo hold, huh? Whee! It's so big! This plane is a special model. It has both a super large cargo hold and a ultra luxurious first class seating. Teen, how big is this plane anyways? So this is the real scene of the murder? Scene of the murder? I need to do a little bit more of my accents. There is certainly a high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Okay, let's get investigating, sir. Over deck cargo holds. Hold on a moment. Maybe that will help. Okay, good. Because Miles was like, oh, I have to go around and around and around or something like that. That was weird. Hey, what's with the suitcase, pal? It's what the victim checked in, sir. So this suitcase belonged to Mr. Hicks. I don't think he'd mind if we took a closer look. I mean, he's dead after all. There's nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir. Wait, a file? And there's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir. It looks like a profile on Franziska. Was our victim trying to spy on her? Profile on Franziska. Why did Mr. Hicks have documents on Franziska in his possession? Why would Hicks have a file on her? Holy suitcases, my old Edgeworth. It's like an aisle you can see suitcase fair. These must be all the leftover ones they couldn't sell. The ones the company is the ones the company is planning to dispose of after this flight is over. This paint job is really cool, don't you think? It practically screams artsy. Oh, then why not purchase one then? I'm sure it will bring you much happiness. You think so? Then maybe I will. Let's see here. $1,200! I think I'll pass. And Miss Tenero wonders why they don't sell. You need 2 jobs just to buy one of her gaudy stuff. Although it definitely looks like one is missing. What is this what is this brittle substance I'm stepping on? It's a bunch of glass fragments? Glass shards. What are these glass shards from? Keeping track of this many pieces of cargo must be very taxing on the cargo crew. It sure brings back memories of when I worked as a part-time mover, sir. By the look in his eyes, he's waiting for me to ask about the rest of the story. But no matter how he pours on the puppy eyes, I have no intention of doing so. Sheebers! Cruel. I didn't know that this plane was capable of carrying such large pieces of cargo. This thing's as tall as 2 of you on top of each other, sir. Maybe even 3. It would probably take 20 of you to cover the entire surface of this monstrosity. What, really? I guess that sounds about right. There's really no need to take that throwaway estimate so seriously, Detective. But it's honestly a good point. Have you noticed anything strange happening around here? No, sir, I haven't noticed a thing. I'm not sure that he meant to sound so oblivious. All sorts of boxes are piled up here. This one says flammable, and this one, it says pharmaceuticals. This one says for exorcism use only. What? What kind of operation is this airline running? Ooh, I just love pushing the buttons on elevators and crosswalk signals. Here, you should give it a try, sir. Go on, push it. The elevator is currently stopped on the 1st floor, Detective. You can't move. Oh yeah, I guess nothing would happen if you push it now. Well, nothing would happen normally anyway without the special key card. Both the door to the attendance room and the elevator's control panels require a key card. It makes it impossible for a passenger to come down here. You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And then you immediately began to direct the investigation. It seems to me that you were already here at this airport for something else besides this murder. Yes, I was. I've been following a very large and involved government-level international crime, but it's much too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol. Franziska came to this airport as an Interpol liaison. Interpol is involved? It's a top secret operation, so I can't really tell you any more than I already have. Connect the dots. Oh, I forgot about these two. I think we can safely conclude that these fragments are from a pair of glasses. And the victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards would match up perfectly with the remnants of his glasses lenses. Ergo, the victim was here, just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe that the probability has skyrocketed considerably. All that's left to find is the murder weapon. Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documents profiling Franziska? Oh, I know. I bet he's a real big fan of Miss Von Karma, sir. Franziska said that she had come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Oh, maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming here and he followed her. Detective, I think it's more likely that Mr. Hicks was actually Interpol Agent Hicks. I think Franziska has some explaining to do. She got some explaining to do. Truth behind Hicks. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? Nonsense! What are you talking about? We found a profile detailing information about you in the victim's luggage. Why didn't you check on with us? I'm guessing you know why. I suppose it was prepared for him so that he could recognize you when he landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol Agent Hicks. Isn't that correct? I should have known you figured it out, Miles. But it looks like they got to him first. So you really did come here to receive an Interpol agent, then? Yes. Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. He went undercover to investigate this crime. And it was I who put him on this case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. I think we now have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here to the cargo hold. Well, what was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing but luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. Oh! That was very delayed sound effect. Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason. Of that I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Franziska, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue his investigation? No. Unfortunately, I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see. But this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in. Yes, and then he was murdered here. These glass fragments and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then the killer put Agent Hicks into one of the spare suitcases and they entered the elevator, but while they were riding it up, the plane had that patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Hicks's body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere. Which explains why there was money scattered all over the floor. Investigation complete. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. What? Really, sir? I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. But the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Tenero. She's on the roads to nowhere, and we have definitive evidence of that. If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is that the keycard that allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such high-level access is Miss Rhoda Tenero. I'd say that's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you? I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not sure that it's as simple as that. Definitive evidence. It might be true, but then it could be anyone, including Miss Meal or even the captain. Don't be a fool. A plane without a pilot in the cockpit is like a horse without a rider, crop in hand. Much like Scruffy over there. Hey! I can't disagree with her on that. Detective Gumshoe does always need a guiding hand. Oh, burn. Very well. Then what about the other flight attendant, Miss Meal? Ha! I thought you might ask about her. But it's highly likely that the keycard was stolen from Miss Tenero. It's highly likely, but is that possibility the best you can come up with? And you call yourself a disciple of my father. Ah! Yes, well, while I don't have any evidence, Be quiet! You're a disgrace! There's more evidence pointing to that Miss Tenero, you know. It's not just the keycard that gives her away. Are you talking about the murder weapon, the Captain Hugo piggy bank? Yes, she is the only person with the key to open that display case. Further, there is the... But that is a fake. Shut up right there, Miles Edgeworth. You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. You must keep insisting that it's a fake. Now what is the real murder weapon and where did it go? Where did you come from, Cut-and-Eye Joe? Pieces, I see. That's not a surprise. After all, you know that we searched the entire cargo hold and it came up empty-handed. There must be a way. There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as the murder weapon. What should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon? Francisco, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions. Well, was I? Yes, we don't even have the autopsy results yet. How can I not say that you've made a snap judgment when you have yet to even see if the wound is on Agent Hicks's head is consistent with a murder weapon? Scruffy! Yes, sir. Contact the medical examiner's office at once. I wish to hear the results of Agent Hicks's autopsy. Eek! Yes, sir! We've got a big problem, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Me too, with my finger ring. What is it, detective? They're still doing the autopsy, but they said that they already know one thing for sure. Report, now. The doctor said that it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. From the victim's shoulder to his mid-back, he was beaten over such a wide area. Well, I'd say it's more that a sign. Well, I'd say it's maybe a sign that the killer had a grudge against Agent Hicks. It wasn't just his head. The killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir. Oh, dang, that's huge. Scruffy, Scruffy, what is had a grudge against Agent Hicks is supposed to mean? Well, that's, was the wound on the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, Detective? Oh, well, they said they were still looking into that, sir. You're completely useless. Yo! Sir, I told you already, you can't go down there. No, you've removed yourself from my way. What is all that racket? My luggage, my cargo, they're mine and I demand you return them to me. We're still investigating the cargo hold. Please understand and have a little patience. I suppose there is no choice. Finally, I think you get... Hey, what are you? You have left me to a choice, but to use strong force. Arg! You won't get past me. Dane! That officer is buffed to move him out of the way. Wait, this is... So that's it. That's what this whole thing has been about. Further, there's the matter of the key to the display case that held the murder spank. After all, you know that we searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. That guy is still falling down. The doctor says it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder to his mid-back. Oh. That guy is dead. Oh, okay. Maybe these two? Maybe these two. Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over, which is why there is extensive bruising all over such a wide area. But is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from his shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, then the piggy bank is much too small to have caused all that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be far much bigger. If we're looking for a rather large weapon, you think that it would stick out. But so far, we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Perhaps it's all something we've overlooked from the very beginning. Just because normally it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. What was that all about? Was he trying to jump his way down here? Francisca! What? What do you want? I found it, Francisca. I found the real murder weapon. You did? You really jumped. We didn't realize it until now, but the answer has been right in front of this whole time. Love that. He might be hurt. We should go check up on him, sirs. There's the pompous attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit. It's coming from a prosecutor with a habit of whipping everyone she comes across. Ho-ho! Anyways, if you're really a prosecutor, then you'll back yourself up with evidence. You two aren't listening at all, are you? Come on, show me this real murder weapon you speak of? I don't have any evidence to show you. Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool, from a foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me. Fool. What do you mean I don't have any evidence to show? Perhaps I should phrase it as that which caused Perhaps I should have phrased it as that which caused Agent Hicks's death is incorporeal. It doesn't exist. Forgive me, but I do believe I figured out what was the real cause of death. Suffocation, refration, I don't know, strangulation. He was free fallen. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground. And he was free fallen. If he fell to his death. Yes, this is the only plausible possibility. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. And the only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death. But the murder happened inside this plane. I know. Are you claiming that there is some place in this plane from which he could have fallen from? As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time. You can't mean... Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs of this very cargo hold. What? Then... We're in trouble. We may have a second death on our hands, sirs. Hey you, tell me you're instead, pal. Quiet. Why are you screaming? He's alive. Seen it. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that Agent Hicks fell over that railing to his death. I mean, that man is living proof of that. I suppose it's true that it's not possible given the current circumstances. The current circumstances? What is that supposed to mean? Suppose that large pieces of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then? It would have been a Borginian pancake for sure, sir. I suppose that man over there wouldn't still be breathing. But the reality is the cargo box is there. So there's no point of entertaining your hypothetical scenarios. It may be there now, but there's no proof that it was always there. As if there could have been a window of time when that giant box was not there. But there was. What? What can I use to show that there was possible that the box was not always there, where it is now? How I love this. It's my heart. Oh, that piano. Such a good intro. Oh, never mind. There was a cargo things going on. Oopsie doopsie. There we are. Take that! Refueled in the Republic of Zainfa. Yes, this flight had a short layover in Zainfa in order to refuel. But that wasn't the only reason for the layover. He also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at the time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. Ah, it's labeled Zainfa Express. It's labeled Zainfa Express. Correct, meaning that it was loaded onto the plane in Zainfa. Cargo from Zainfa was loaded on board during that refueling between 4 and 5 a.m. at the transfer point. Now, what if the box in question was also loaded on at the same time? It would mean that the box was not here in the cargo hold during the Europe Zainfa leg of the flight. making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible. Ah, but your theory is still very far-fetched. Then allow me a chance to prove how very likely my scenario is, without a Pokemon. My first order of business will be to examine that piece of cargo in more detail. Begin investigation. Lower the cargo hold. I didn't read this. Smuggling. Agent Hicks was on the trail of an international smuggling ring. This is a rather large piece of cargo. There's a tag on it, sir. Let's see. I'll Fred statue. Never heard of it. Nor I do, but all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime. But let's get investigating, sir. Oh. Look here. Do not go about touching my possessions without my permission. Ugh, don't rest up on me like that, pal. So this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? I should see what else I can find out from him. LeBlanc's cargo, which I am shooting for them. I take it that this large piece of cargo hold belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc? Of course it is mine. I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe. This olive statue is worth more than 10 million cents. No, maybe much more. Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been the large cargo hold. 10 million cents. I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes, Detective. Darn, how did you know that? I feel like you keep getting better and better at seeing right through me every year. So I grow with each revolution of the planet around the sun. I have the distinct impression that he continues to madly spin in place. What in the world was that poetry? Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, so is that 10 million cents? Is that in euros or in dollars? Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, there's a chance that your cargo is related to our murder case. I was wondering if you allow us to examine it a bit closer. It is a very valuable piece of art, so no, there will be no touching. Valuable piece of art. Mr. LeBlanc claims to have brought a piece of art from Europe, but... Oh boy, you ain't gonna like this piece of logic. It could be possible, but how do you even... Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring. Then it's possible that this fake statue was brought on board in Xingfa. I think I need to question him a bit further. About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc. I wonder if it might be a fake. What? How dare you say my art is fake? I suspect that your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring. Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves would not stare. Is the certification of my cargo right here. Do you mean the cargo certification document? Mr. Zinc LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us. Hold on a moment, I'm trying to repeat history. Do you mean the cargo certification document? Mr. Zinc LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once. I can't read this. What does it say? It says plain as day the cargo was put onto the plane in Europe. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. Too bad for you. Too bad, and so sad from you. This statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in this certificate. No, which means that there was never a window of time in which the statue wasn't there. I'll leave Fred's certificate, document written and Porcinian, proof that the statue was loaded on board in Europe. I respectively disagree. We just respectively disagree. We can't discount the theory until I see the statue for myself. Then you can have your wish and eat it too. Look at yourself and see I am right. I know I've seen this somewhere before. This is the Alley Fred. Gives us such a feeling of art. I can practically smell it. I can practically taste it too. Detective, I'm sorry, sir. This statue has a high amount of historical value. After it was unveiled at a museum in Europe, I brought it to this country to exhibit it. Only for its statue. Piece of art being shipped by Mr. LeBlanc, who claims it is worth 10 million cents. I believe a closer look is warranted here. So this is the infamous Alif stud shoe, What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you find something? There's something wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail. What's this? The statue looks like it's stepping all over its neighbor's cloth clover. It kinda resembles its owner's attitude in a sense. Ho ho! You, what did you say now? Further, my clothing's hem is not being stepped on by anyone. It is too expensive for me to allow that to happen. Please forgive the trespasses of my subordinates. Why should I forgive if the dress passes? Unless it is an expensive dress, you keep it. What? Why can a person fumbles this up? Eureka! These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think? Yes, and pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir. I don't think you see what I'm talking about. No, I do, but it's really like the color of the sun when it's setting, sir. Ah, the memories. Ah, we go through the memories. Like that one Maroon 5 song or Adam Levine song? Adam Levine? I don't remember anymore. I remember sitting out in that field, spinning with my arms out until I fell ill. I don't care about sunsets. Focus, detective. What color are the eyes in this photo? Huh? Ah! Sir, they're red! As I thought, the statue is a fake. Mr. LeBlanc, what do you want? Do you not know I am a busy man? Do you not know I am a busy man? I allow you 2 seconds for your answer. The Aleph Fred. I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not? It is the biggest trophy of this European trip. Do you know why I wanted to possess this statue? The trigger started 17 years ago. Me and my gun. Better grab a chair, sir. Sounds like this is going to be a long story. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but... What is that? Sympathy for the what? The devil? You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes. That large fellow has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you. I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us and the ones in this photo. Why is this still in yelling? Now then, oh! It is a photo of the statue in display at the museum in Europe. Now do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake. Ah, a fake! I believe that further examination will be required. Now that we have confirmed that this is indeed a fake, there must be some sort of proof that this was brought on board in St. Fa. I will present to you evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. There is clearly a contradiction here. What are you going on about? It's just a simple case of cargo cover getting stuck under another piece of cargo. Well, that's not possible. But it is. It shouldn't be this way, but the statue is on top of the cloth. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in St. Fa, there's no way that any part of it should wind up under something from Europe. Which means that this fake statue was smuggled on board in St. Fa. But then what about the cargo certificates? Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of his flight? There's only one reason why. To secure proof of smuggling activity aboard this flight. So you say, but I don't believe he had to do... So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. We could have just as easily inspected all the cargo hold after the plane landed. That may be true, however, you have it backwards, Franziska. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed, but he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport. Would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall onto the statue's owner. Would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge. Which means there is someone involved who is forging or modifying cargo certificates. Ali Fred certificate, document in Borginian. Says statue was loaded on board in Europe, but statue is a fake. Ali Fred certificate data updated my organizer. Investigation complete. I guess the victim knew that the real version of this was gonna get nabbed, huh? Yes, while this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as a reference document for later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold. A rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board. A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof. A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo hold would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the St. Fa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler. Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. The statue was not in the cargo holds during the Europe. If the statue was not in the cargo holds during the Europe St. Fa leg of the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death. Officer! Move the statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath. Now! Mr. Von Karma, I'm ready to report my findings. Go on. After moving the Ali Fred statue out of the way, we tested the area under it with luminol, and there was a reaction. I see. There was a reaction to luminol, an indication that there was some blood in that spot. Oh, can we stop looking at it now, sirs? It would seem that my deductions were correct after all. I suppose it would appear that way. The culprit cleaned the blood up very well. And how do you think the killer did that? How did the killer clean up all that blood? All that blood inside that trunk. The killer used a bloody cloth I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess. I see. They had a need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Xinfa. Just because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover. Oh, so you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Xinfa? There's no other conceivable timeline for the events of the murder. But if that is true, that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. The murder occurred before we landed in Xinfa. This becomes highly suspect. Recall Miss Meal's testimony about Agent Hicks in regard to when we departed Xinfa. I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know. She claims Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but... Oh, that totally contradicts the facts, sir. But why would she lie about something like that? I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Meal herself. To be continued. Alright, I'm going to save my progress here. After that, I am going to... Right, I'm going to take a little drink of water for 5 minutes. Later, confrontation Kemi meal. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, let's see here. That's where I was. I look at the skyline. So cool in the background. Oh, that's where I was. March 12th, 3:35 p.m. Flight G390, lower deck, cargo hold. Miss Meal. Listen to this song. From sorry about that. That song was just so relaxing. Miss Meal, huh? Do you recall what you said earlier about when you entered some service calls as we were departing from St. Fa? Huh? You said that Mr. X was sitting in his seat at that time. However, that is simply not possible, because Mr. Hicks was dead long before we touched down in St. Fa. Huh? This can't be Meal. Maybe I didn't see what I thought I did? No one can make a mistake that so large, Miss Meal. But I make that kind of boo-boo all the time. This is going nowhere. There must be a better way of resolving this contradiction. Very well. Miss Meal, if you please, tell me about your alibi during the time span. From just before we landed to 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. when the body was found. Are you telling me I'm a suspect, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, I would love to be a suspect. I'm so done trying to be sleepy all the time. Miss Meal's alibi. Yeah. From 3 to 4, I was, in the flight attendant's room, all by my lonesome self. Yeah. And from 5 to 6, I was, in the flight attendant's room, all by my lonesome self. How is a man supposed to react to a testimony like that? Miss Meal, wake up! Huh? She fell asleep again. Looks like the only way I'm going to be able to wake her up is by pressing her. Does she have no alibi? She's guilty. Yeah, she's guilty. So you were alone the entire time, were you? Yeah, no one even popped their head in to say hi. Oh, well, I think a contradiction just popped in to say hi. What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Miss Meal, there is a clear contradiction embedded in your testimony. Huh? What are you talking about? It's not possible that you were alone in the attendant's room the whole time from 5 to 6 a.m. I wonder if you would be so kind as to take a look at this receipt, Miss Meal. Huh? A receipt? For what? It's for the suitcase Miss Tenero bought. Now, if I may direct your attention to the timestamp, as you can see, it clearly says 5:40 a.m. Miss Tenero. Yes. Huh? What is the killer? Why is the killer here? I thought you'd have locked her up by now. I requested that she be present as a witness, so that we may straighten up your complex lie. Now then, Miss Tenero, between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m., you took a trip in the first class down to the first floor in-flight shop, correct? Yes, I went to the shop to buy a suitcase, after which I went straight to the attendant's room to drop it off. And did you see Miss Meal there at the time? No. So, Miss Meal, where were you really between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m.? Miss Kimmy Meal. Huh? The bathroom? I'll be the one to ask the questions here. Yeah, maybe that's it. Probably just missed her. Nature calls, you know. You take me for a fool. That's a little too convenient to be true. But it's the truth. Cross my heart and hope to die. Don't have enough conclusive proof to counter-argue her at this stage. You don't believe me, do you? But please, won't you give me a chance and hear me out? Reasons for suspicion. Look, I know you're suspecting me because I'm one of the crew. But you think then maybe you should also suspect Miss Rhoda too. She's the one in charge of the elevator keycard in the shop, you know. If you ask me, that makes her super suspicious. Please leave Miss Tenero out of the conversation. Only you are Please leave Miss Tenero out of the conversation. Only you are under suspicion for now. I don't get it. Why are you covering for Miss Rhoda all of a sudden? Oh, now I get it. Maybe you've got your eye on Miss Rhoda? Of course I'm keeping an eye on her. I can't very well let her escape, can I? Never mind. But you want to know something? Miss Rhoda actually kind of like... I have absolutely no interest in people who can't appreciate my sense of design. Now it's not the time for this sort of talk. Suspicious. No, it's not the only reason I have for suspecting you. Her statements regarding Mr. Hicks also turned out to be a bunch of lies. But say I wasn't an attendant, you wouldn't suspect me then, would you? Yes, I suppose that's true enough. She is already being detained for further questioning, or have you already forgotten? Oh, yeah, I guess I just forgot. Cammy, don't tell me you suspect me too. Sorry, can't help it. I mean, other than you, there's no one else who could have done it. Can't believe you would think that. I mean, me, the killer. Miss Field, what do you mean by now, just by now, no one else who could have done it? And what are you in charge of, Miss Meal? I mean, maybe you don't seem important, but that doesn't shrug you from responsibilities. I took care of the attendance room. That doesn't count. But I spent so much time in there, it might as well be my responsibility. You. Mr. Edgeworth, Kemi is very talented in languages, so she assists passengers who may not speak English. especially those who speak Borginian. She's the only one on this flight who is fluent. Huh? Oh, you mean what? Oh, you mean that kind of what I am in charge of. Why didn't you say so in the first place? What else could I have meant? Yes, I'm really good at Borginian. She's fluent in Borginian? Then I suppose you're in charge of processing documents in Borginian? Yeah, I take care of anything that has to do with Borginian. Very interesting. Well, I'm in charge of Arthur's attendance room. It's a Borginian stuff. Wait a minute. Objection! You were almost caught red-handed, but it looks like you were late red-handed. So, you're the only one in this flight crew that speaks Borginian. Is that correct? Oh, yeah, I guess so. I studied you abroad in Virginia for a while. If that is the case, then the signature on this document belongs to you, doesn't it? This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose: to lead anyone who read it to believe that Mr. LeBlanc's statue was loaded in Europe. The only person who could have either prepared or processed this document in Borginian is you, Miss Meal. Without your participation, the smuggling of the Leaf Red could have not have occurred. Don't sleep while I'm pointing my finger at you. How very rude. Oh, I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth. It is exactly as you say. Are you confessing to have participated in the smuggling? No, far from it. It's true that I was the one who signed off on that document. But you can't use that fact alone to make your allegation of smuggling stick. There's no direct correlation after all. All you have is my signature on a piece of paper. Really, all you did was sign it. I mean, you can translate Borginian. I neglected to check if the cargo had been loaded onto the plane properly. So sorry about that. Seems that she's finally woken up. This is going to be one tough fight. Suppose, and this is just a supposition. Even if I was involved in the smuggling, you can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that. Yari! If you were involved in the smuggling, you would have had a strong motive to kill. Agent Hicks was in the middle of an investigation regarding a smuggling ring. And just when he was about to close in, he's killed by a member of that ring. Well, did you ever stop to think that maybe Rhoda is the smuggling ring member? After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things on this plane for work purposes. So perhaps there is some element of a setup at play in this case. What are you talking about? Bubbles. I am Bubble Man. Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you. I meant the killer. First it was myself, now Miss Cenero, who was under the microscope. Seems to me that our killer is going to great lengths to pin this crime on anyone they can. You have no proof that Rhoda is being set up or that she isn't. Actually, I believe that she was indeed the intended target from the very beginning. I believe that the plan was to push all the blame for the crime onto her. And this evidence will prove my suspicions. This proves that the killer was out to frame Miss Gennaro from the very beginning. The killer could have hidden the body anywhere, yet they chose the suitcase. Why is it that? Perhaps it was to move the body from up the lower deck to the first floor. However, why go through the trouble to do so? The only way all of these actions make sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Miss Gennaro for the murder. Miss Gennaro buys the suitcase on every flight she works without fail. But should her suitcase be switched with the one containing the victim's body, that would put her in a very tight spot. Fortunately for the killer, turbulence put an end to that plan. There wasn't enough time to put the body back into the suitcase. Ergo, they made do with whatever was at hand, adapted their plan, and tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. The killer then went to hide the suitcase in the in-flight shop, and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree? Sounds like the killer had enough time too, huh? I mean, why did the killer need to frame someone on that badly anyway? That is because of the special circumstances surrounding this particular case. What special circumstance dictated the need for the killer to frame someone? Sleepy sleep. The special circumstances is simply that the murder took place on a plane mid-flight. No matter which country, customs is quite strict in this day and age. So no matter what you do, the chances that the body will be found is very high. Therefore, there was no choice but to frame either Miss Gennaro or myself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminal's movements. It's not Miss Gennaro or myself, but you, Miss Camille. Only you and you alone could be the killer. Yeah, and I'm very sleepy. Are you done already? I was about to fall asleep again. Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence. Yeah. I can see the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. And isn't there a piece of evidence that's still unaccounted for? Something that's I still can't quite fit into the big picture? I don't have any actual evidence. I thought not. But that's because it went missing, and still is. Missing? What do you mean by that? Missing? What do you mean by that? The complex puzzle that is this case. There's one piece of... this complex puzzle that is this case. There's one piece I kept getting stuck on. That is the victim's cell phone. Franziska, you were waiting at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hicks's cell phone. Or at least that's what you told me. That's right. But Agent Hicks's cell phone could not be found at the crime scene. You mean the killer took the phone with him? You mean the killer took the phone with him? Precisely. I suspect that if we were to find that phone, it would lead us to the killer. Come on, get serious. The victim fell to his death from that height. Wouldn't his phone break as well? We won't know that until we try a little experiment, will we? Franziska, I'd like to ask for your assistance. You know the victim's phone number, do you not? Of course I do. It's just like my phone. Agent Hicks's phone. It's ringing from somewhere, sir. Here, detective. Now, where is it coming from? 412, 214, 412 p.m. Flight sheet 39390, first floor, flight attendant's room. Darn it, only 8 more minutes until 420. Not enough time. The reading's coming from somewhere in here, sir. Leave no stone unturned, Detective Gumshoe. We must find it. The reading's coming from here, sir. What? No, it can't be. It's gotta be the victim's cell phone. Just whose locker is this, sir? It's Miss Tenero's. What? Or 12, or 28 p.m. Flight 3 lower deck cargo holds. It took them 12 minutes. No, wait, 16 minutes to go from the flight attendant's room to here. So, Mr. Edgeworth, how did he go? Where did he find the phone? I found it in the flight attendant's room. In Miss Tenero's locker. What? But... Rota Tenero. I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Like that one shaggy fellow. Miss Von Karma, is it? It's a just you arrest Mr. Nero, Rota Tenero right away. Yori! Objection. Wait, I have a theory. This is related to the incident with the keycard. When the killer went to steal the keycard, they conveniently set the cell phone in Miss Renee. Yeah, you know what I mean. They conveniently set the cell phone in Miss De Niro's locker at the same time. Objection! This is related to the keycard, alright. This is related to the keycard, alright. In the same way that we have zero proof that the killer just did that. The only voice that seems the truth is evidence. That is the only part we cannot ignore. What should I do? Franziska is right. Can't offer baseless conjectures at this point. Right then, why did the culprit take the cell phone from Agent Hicks? Must have something very incriminating on or in it. Hold it! What's now, Miles Edgeworth? It's not over yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the phone. What? Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer. We need to examine this phone in more detail. This must be the switch that operates the phone. The LCD is broken. Without a screen, you can't even place a call with this. Ah, it's a camera lens. Come to think of it, well, I wonder, how exactly was Agent Hicks planning to preserve the crime scene of the smuggling? Franziska, I need you to confirm something. The cell phone, can it take pictures? Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know this. Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know about this kind of basic stuff, sir. This looks like a very similar model to my own. And mine can take photos just fine. Do you think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures with this? In particular, pictures as evidence for a smuggling case? If so, I'd say there may be some very inconvenient photos in here from our killer smuggler. But the phone's all busted up, sir. Even a super prosecutor can't repair a broken phone. Alright, find a way, don't you worry about that. Yawn. And go back to sleep. Now. The LCD screens on the inside and outside are broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason enough to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data. What? What do you mean by that, Franziska? It looks like your killer isn't very familiar with electronics. This phone is still ringing when I called it, meaning that only the LCD screens are broken. It's possible that the photos are still inside there, waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone. Francisca, your phone if you please. Very well. It's transferring. Alright, displaying it now. This is... Agent 6 was certainly trying to obtain some evidence for his smuggling case. Hey, the alley spreads nowhere in this pic, sir. But this has no meaning as a piece of evidence in this murder case, right? Oh, she's right. There's not much we can find out from this about Agent Hicks's killer, sir. Is this it? Is this the end? Is there really nothing in this photo that we can use? What's all this? Or the air cargo ship from Virginia to St. Fa. So the reason they aren't here now is that they were dropped in St. Fa. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me the contents of the boxes? Unfortunately, there is no English written on them anywhere. One cluster of boxes is written in Virginian. It says, it is cloth in English. Cloth? Could it be? Is this where the killer... What? What is that? What for is that skitty face? Miss Meal. Yes? It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. Huh? He left us with a piece of evidence after all. A striking piece of evidence that will blow out who his killer is. Ah! Maybe you shouldn't force your mistaken reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edgeworth. Virginian cargo and this piece of evidence will point us straight to the killer. Take that! And what is that supposed to prove? The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up all the blood they had spilt. But there was one thing that bothered me this whole time. Where did this come from? Where did it come from? And where did it go? Where did this cloth come, Conor Joe? Now, I have finally found my answer in this very photo. The cargo that was unloaded in St. Fa had cloth written on it. In Borginian, that is. And this is where the killer grabbed a piece from to clean up the blood with. That's right. The killer was someone who couldn't read and understand Borginian. And the only crew member that fits that description is you, Miss Cammy Meal. Hold it! Ha! That's pretty flimsy. The killer probably searched through all the boxes looking for something to use. When you're frantic, you don't care if the box is English or Borginian. Objection! Sorry, but I cannot agree with your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature. Your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature. What? There is no need for the killer to tear through boxes at random at all. And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend Borginian, well then... Logically, the killer would have opened this box first. Hey! It says bedsheets in English right in the box, sir. Precisely. And bedsheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't they say, when you say? So what are you trying to say? That if I were the criminal, this box of bedsheets would have been what I would have spotted first. However, the killer chose to use some Borginian cloth. Do you have an explanation for that? The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real scene of the crime was this cargo hold. So they were afraid to leave signs that the box where the sheets had been open. However, the Borginian cloth? Well, that's a horse of a different color. Because the killer knew that it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Zingfa? That's right. That is why the Borginian cloth was used. The only Borginian reader on board who could make such a calculated decision is you, Cammy Meal. You and you alone. Defend me, little Hugo thingy. Defend me, Captain Hugo stuffed toy. Would be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. All we would have to do is contact the Zingfa authorities in time. We may even find other evidence to incriminate our killer within those boxes. Thank you for the raid. And thank you for the raid, Dark Angel 1823 with a party of 6. Thank you for that time to reveal the true killer. Grr. So what do you say, Miss Meal? Why not confess to your crime here and now? Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from our investigation in Zingfa? You culprit smuggler. We found a killer. Oh, bubbles. Everywhere bubbles. No. No, bubbles. I'm being popped. No. Owie, my headset. He was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here. He started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared I was in trouble. I pushed him. I, a little butterfly. That Agent Hicks is sure going to fly. March 12th, 5:26 p.m. Flight G390, first floor lounge. We finished making all the arrangements to take the suspect in, sir. Very good, Detective. What about the smuggling route? Did she say anything about that? They're taking her down to the precinct now. Hopefully we can get more out of her there. Whenever we approached the topic, she just started foaming at the mouth. It was scary, sir. She probably wasn't prepared to commit a murder all of a sudden. One thing is for sure, the reason behind this whole mess means serious business. And so is, but not as good as my chair, sadly. It looks like there's a lot more to this case than meets the eye. Transformers, more than meets the eyes. Maybe, Cammy Meal did definitely transform before my eye, so... Mr. Edgeworth, I just wanted to say how much I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much. It was nothing. In fact, I should be the one thanking you for your cooperation. But truly, if it wasn't for you, I might not be here right now. Said I could continue to serve our passengers as a flight attendant. And finally get on good terms with the captain. Hopefully he doesn't get any smuggler in business anymore. I hope that, well, please accept this as a token of my appreciation. That's... I see. You don't have to take it if you don't want to. It is rather hideous, wouldn't you say? No, I mean, I would never turn down a lady's generous offer. Oh, thank you. I'm sure it will serve you well. And remember, we here at Go You Airlines are always ready to serve, Mr. Edgeworth. Go You! Yeah. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Now we must bid you farewell. May all your skies be blue, no matter where you go. See you later. I can't believe we wound up investigating the whole day, sir. But boy, it was fun. I mean, we found a smuggler. Speak for yourself. My day was filled with earthquakes, elevators, and false charges. Oh boy. Just like that one case. By the way, where's Franziska? Oh, she's filling out some customs paperwork for departure. Departure? Yeah, Miss Von Karma's always really busy, sir. She's been flying from country to country to chase down some leads regarding her case. The smuggling one, you mean? I mean... Detective, can you cancel the car you reserved earlier? You got it, sir. March 12th, 5:47 p.m. Hope Springs Airport. I get it. Franziska. I thought I told you when you first landed. I have no time for idle chatter. I have no intention of wasting your time. However, it has been a while since we last met. I also have no time for such familiar reminiscence. Just who do you think I am? You are Franziska von Karma, a very proud prosecutor deserving of much respect. Only until a while ago, I was but a wretched mutt who was always losing to you. A dancing pirouette. Dancing pirouettes, living her life on the name and fame of her invincible father. A dancing pirouette, living her life on the name and fame her invincible father built. True, your father Manfred von Karma didn't lose a single case for 40 years as a prosecutor. However, I wouldn't say that he was invincible. What are you talking about? Have you never heard about my case before? Never read it. Never really cared. The group I'm on the trail of is a little more troublesome than most. The smuggling route we found this time is only one sliver of the big picture. Sounds like a dangerous assignment. You really don't have to worry. You really don't have to worry. I can take care of myself. Yes, I suppose you can. Plus, there is another agent on this case with me. Oh? Another agent? So you weren't with Hicks? Too much? He's a starter among Interpol agents. It has the highest successful arrest rate. Yeah. Tongue twisters. My weakness. Who knows? You may even run into him one day. I was simply caught up in this one case. I hardly see why we would cross paths. I suppose. But I doubt he would say the same. I'm not following you. You'll understand soon enough. The fight has only just begun, Miles Edgeworth. I'll be back in this country soon enough. And when I am, you can be sure I'll pay you back, in full, with a lot of whips. Ah, and just like that she's gone, sir. Finally, no more whips for me. Thank goodness. I can finally rest easy knowing I wouldn't have to watch out for her whip. Detective Gumshoe, I want to thank you for all your help and cooperation. It was nothing, sir. I was just happy to be able to work with you again. Ho ho! I think I'm going to celebrate by adding a little extra salt to my instant noodles tonight. Just how much did you cut the celery by, Franziska? I mean, I do it all the time, but she does it too much. Detective, I was wondering if you might give me a ride down to the prosecutor's office. Sure thing, sir. I'll even fly down the road in the patrol car if you want. Don't make me remind you, Detective. Safety first. Remember that one time with Farewell My Turnabout? Oh yeah, I won't ever forget that. Thus I solved the first case upon my arrival home. Franziska von Karma, the smuggling route she was after. The leaders of that ring had already put their trump card into play. And the players on the other side of this war. they would begin to make themselves known throughout the next incident. Ooh, interesting. Edgeworth speaking. Oh, finally, I called to know who knows how many times earlier, but I couldn't get through. And you are? Oh, have you forgotten my voice, Miles, my boy? My boy, 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 my boy. Mr. Amano. Ernest Amano, correct? Oh, so you do remember me, my boy. I know it's rather sudden, my boy, but I can't ask this of anyone else, my boy. There's been an incident, my boy. My son, my boy, he's been kidnapped. He's been kidnapped, my boy. My boy. The end, my boy. Save my progress. I was rewarded. Turnabout Airlines. No, anything but the suitcase. I guess I'll... I can do these all out of order. Not so fast. I'm going to play a little part of this. This was going to be my little part of Halloween because I know what happens here. Episode 3, The Kidnapped Turnabout. March 13th. I am 10:11 a.m. It's time. Don't worry, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be following your every movement with my binoculars. Good to hear. Now make sure you don't lose sight of me. I'm counting on you for backup. You can count on me, sir. I have to go. The kidnapper is supposed to contact me soon. I would have thought that upon my return, I'd be thrust into a kidnapping case as well. And that I would be the one who would have to make the ransom drop-off. Well, let's see. I trust the money is there, safe inside the suitcase. Now what I have to do is await further instructions from the kidnapper, which I'm expecting to be transferred to my cell phone. I wonder who else is around. This is the meeting place, after all. Gatewater. Welcome to the Gatewater Lands. Oh, thank you. And a big hello to you. I'm the Proto Badger. Nice to meet you. Excuse me, but perhaps you were thinking of taking a picture of me? A picture of you? Sorry, but I'm not interested right now. Oh, that's too bad. Well, have a good day. Where did I pull out that sign from anyway? Hello? Hopefully it's not you, Badger. Who are you? You're not Ernest Armando. Sounds like the kidnapper is using some sort of voice alteration device. I'm his representative, Miles Edgeworth. Are you a cop? No, I'm a prosecutor. I know what you're wondering, and yes, I have brought the ransom money with me. I see. In that case, bring the money with you to the stadium. So this person intends to see if I'm being followed. Huh. Please, Detective Gumshoe, I really need you to come through for me this one time. The governors! Oh boy. Edgeworth speaking. Nick's come to the haunted house. This is the reason why I wanted to play around during Halloween. And just how long do you intend to have me wander around for? That's for me to decide. You won't have much of a choice here now, my friend. I suppose not. I've arrived. Go inside. What a dismal place. I hope I'm not rushed. That's it. Go through the doors. Those doors. Am I being watched from somewhere? Leave the money and go. Now. I was hoping for an exchange, but maybe I should do as they see for now and to not push it. Ah, this stinks. I couldn't find the kidnapper. I couldn't catch even a symbol. I couldn't catch even a glimpse. I couldn't catch even a glimpse of the kidnapper. Perhaps I should keep an eye on this haunted house until police backup arrives. Oh boy, here we go. I'm so bored. Huh? What the heck? Okay. Arg. It was a trap. March 13th, 11:23 a.m. Question mark. That guy betrayed. No, can't be. Then the Steels. Who is that? What are they talking about? Split, please. Alright. In front of meetup. Can't move my body. I fear I may offend again. Where am I? How long was I out? Was it raining like it is now when I made the drop-off? This was supposed to be a simple affair. So why have been taken hostage as well? I can only assume Detective Gumshoe lost sight of me at some point. The only reason I agreed to the drop-off man was... The only reason I agreed to be the drop-off man was because of that phone call. It was from Mr. Ernest Amano, the director of the powerful Zaibatsu, the Amano group. But aside from that, I also owe him a great debt of gratitude. His only son, Lance, had been kidnapped. I know that Lance is already in his 20s, but I guess some things you never grow out of. I'm bored. Can't sit around waiting for someone to come help me. Must escape somehow. Huh, was that you making that funny sound? Who's there? And how dare you laugh at a gentleman's plight? It's her! Who are you? Are you one of the kidnappers? A kidnapper? Me? No way, I'm not into such petty crimes. Nope, I'm after something much, much bigger. I've been handcuffed before, lady. I don't need this. Arg, I must be worn out from today's ordeal. Focus smiles. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. Sorry about that. Ahem. Even in the depths of night, when no other bird dares to take flight, one alone soars to shine the light of righteousness on the world's blight. And that is one is me, for I am the great thief, Yatagarasu. Great thief? Did she really just claim to be the Yatagarasu? Oh, but my real name is Kay Faraday. You can call me KK. Good, glad that's settled. Not quite. I have a mountain of questions for you. But first, if you would be so kind as to remove these ropes. I wonder, should I remove them? I was actually having a lot of fun watching you make their silly faces. Oh, Edgeworth is not pleased. Hey, there's no need to get all mad and icy glary on me, you know. This rope goes through here, and there you go. What a relief. I owe you my thanks. Ah, it's okay. You can pay me back in full later. Now then, what question should I start with? Unfortunately, I can already tell nothing is going to be easy with this cheeky girl. You call yourself a great thief, yet are you really a thief at all? You doubt me? I get it. You think that a young lady like me couldn't possibly be such a big-time thief, right? That's not the part I have a tough time believing. I'm the real genuine Yatagarasu, you know. Yep, I'm a pure-blooded great thief. It's little something I inherited from my predecessor. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I arrested you, then, right? What? Of course I mind. I hadn't stolen anything yet. Seriously, I don't know how you can say such a horrible thing to your savior. That's true. Technically, she hasn't stolen anything in front of me. Yet. When you say you're the Yatagarasu, do you mean that you are the Yatagarasu? Yep. The most righteousness of the righteous. The legendary great thief. I inherited the title only recently, so I haven't had a chance to steal anything yet as the second Yatagarasu. I was not aware that thieves could pass down their titles like that. But don't worry, I've got some big plans in the works. Big plans, huh? It wouldn't happen to lead They wouldn't happen to lead to a big arrest, would they? I knew it. There's just no reasoning with the prosecutor. I'm not the problem here. I'll have you know that the Yatagarasu has no interest in stealing petty trinkets. There's only one thing, and only one thing I want to steal. Only one thing to steal? What would that be? But that's gonna have to wait until we find our way out of here. Well, at least there is one thing we agree on. Wait, did I even say it? That I'm a prosecutor? I'm pretty sure I'll have plenty of time later on to learn more about you. So you never told me your name. What your name is, Mr. Prosecutor? I guess not. I guess not. I'm Miles Edgeworth. Aha! Now I remember. Can you remember something I just told you? She sure is cheery. Alright then, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's get out of here. Huh? Oh, darn it. I can't get out. My bad. It would seem that we are locked in from the other side. But we need to break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side with me. What? No, wait. I don't hear you. La 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 la. Okay, you do remember where you came from, right? Right? Looks like that might be our only way out of this room. Whoops, slight miscalculation. That's a good height to make an entrance from, but I can't jump that height to make an exit. I suppose we have no choice but to look around and see if we can find another way out. They're holding a blue badger photo rally. You didn't know? Plus, it's not just the blue badger; it's his whole family too. Badger photo rally. Take a picture of every member of the Badger family and receive a prize. There's only one of each of the 4 family members wandering throughout the park. Best of luck. If you manage to snap a shot of every member... Well, there's a costume head sitting over there. Why not start with a picture of that? Can't do that. That's cheating. There's only one of each badger in the park, so you have to work for it. Speaking of badgers, there was one sitting against the wall in the haunted house. Seriously? But somehow I don't think that one counts, Mr. Edgeworth. I have to take a picture of the costume ones walking around the park. So those are the rules of this game? How quaint. Badger photo rally. There's only one of each badger in the park. Try to get the whole badger family. Moreover, I was looking for this thing. There we are. Isn't this my phone? Looks like it made through the ordeal intact. If only there was a way for us to contact someone on the outside. Like a walkie-talkie. No, that's not it. But we do have a way, right here. There was a cell phone here this whole time? If I'm right, Detective Gumshoe should have contacted the precinct for backup by now. Detective Gummy? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Are you okay? I was worried, sir. I'm fine. I was knocked unconscious for a spell by the kidnapper, that's all. I'm sorry, sir. I'm such a failure. If only I hadn't lost sight of you. Detective, we don't have time for this. Let the police set up a perimeter right now. You don't have to worry about that, sir. Already got the boys working on that. But in doing that, I sort of, What's wrong, Detective? Sorry to butt in, but I'm afraid you're gonna have to make do with me. Who is this? Shilong Lane of Interpol. A pleasure to speak with you, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard a great deal about you. So why exactly is an Interpol agent like yourself involved in a domestic kidnapping case? Don't sweat the details. A crime's a crime wherever it's on a local or global scale. Besides, you're the one who's in a world of trouble. And why would you say that? Ling Z says, the pack that runs together stays together. You catch my drift? You caused quite a ruckus by running blindly into a situation and then getting caught. Tisk. You should have contacted the police from the very beginning. I'm sorry that this happened because of elapsed judgment. However, I humbly request that you please help me out of here post-haste. Sorry, no can do. What? We're hunting down the kidnapper now, and I haven't got any hands to spare. As I said, my pack moves as one. You're the one who's wanted to go in alone, so good luck to you, Mr. Prosecutor. Oh, and once we do catch the kidnapper, rest assured, we'll come find you. Eventually. You. What's wrong? Did you get cut off? No, my phone ran out of power. No way! Doesn't matter anyway. We should try to get out of here through our own means. Yeah. I have a name to live up to after all. If we were to put our heads together, we're sure to find a way out. I'm trying to try opening this door once more and see if we can figure something out. Alright. No to autoplay. But I am going to save here. Beginning, Great Thief Yatagarasu. Alright. And this is where I will end today. Oh, I had this in the background. Whoopsie. Well, this has been Dry Oasis. I've been your host. And these have been my two co-hosts, Kirby and Snorlax. Say goodbye, Kirby and Snorlax. Bye-o. Well, and as always, you can follow me on Twitch, Patreon, X, YouTube, or Discord, all under Dry Oasis. And let's see here. I don't know. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's see here. Let's see here. Hold on a moment while I check something. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see. 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 Let's Hmm. Oh, I could have sworn. Right. Alright. Alright. I hope that you've had a great stay so far, and if not, I hope the rest of your day is better or tomorrow is better for you. I will see you later and take care. Bye bye.